Hi everyone, this is Common Cues. Today's question is, why do some Muslims refrain from shaking hands with people of the opposite gender? Bonjour, hi, hello, ciao, konnichiwa are just a couple of ways in which humans greet each other. But greeting each other is not only about exchanging friendly phrases. More often than not, we either hug or shake hands with the person or people who we greet. Like the different words in which we say our hellos, different cultures have different ways to make their salutations. While in Asian countries, one might clasp their hands together and make a small bow to greet each other, some Mediterranean countries prefer to hug and kiss each other on the cheeks, and others to rub their noses against each other by way of greeting. This is to say that salutations can have varying degrees of physical contact, which can be traced back from the traditions, customs, and religious beliefs of the region they're coming from. Islam, as a matter of fact, puts a lot of stress on giving one another nice and warm greetings, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has actually advised shaking one another's hands long and with a firm grip to show warmth and goodwill. However, as with all things, Islam regulates acts and behaviors to ensure a frictionless interaction within the society between different groups, especially when it comes to the opposite sex. Islam advises Muslims against shaking hands with the members of the opposite gender unless they are immediate family or, as it's called in Islam, Mahram. This is done because Islam tries to guarantee a means of personal space for those that could have or possibly develop romantic feelings or those of desire for each other. Of course, that's not to say that every handshake is expected to elicit these kinds of emotions, but the lines for appropriate touch has to be drawn somewhere. Because of these strict lines, the possibility of misplaced feelings can be reduced. Also, Muslim women and men won't have to feel pushed into unwanted physical contact like a long squeeze of the hand or an unwelcomed hug. They can excuse themselves from awkward and uncomfortable touch, citing their religion and God's order as reason. Islam is not the only religion to offer this type of protection, however. In evangelical Christianity, it's also recommended to respect the sanctity of personal space through clear laws and limits of touch. Orthodox Judaism has rules that define limits for touching someone other than your spouse. Greetings are great ways to express our happiness at meeting each other, but when there is an added physical component without defined lines, these expressions of joy can turn into feelings of discomfort for one party or another. They can also cause other complications in the long run. Just as members of different cultures greet each other in different ways, Muslims have their own form of greeting which doesn't include physical contact from members of the opposite sex. Just as it would be unfair to condemn someone for wanting to rub their nose against yours by way of greeting, while you want to give them a firm handshake, it would also be wrong to blame someone for choosing a no-contact greeting instead of a handshake. I hope this answer helped. Now, there are far more answers where this one came from, so write your questions in the comments and we'll keep the answers coming.